Buongiorno and good morning. Welcome to Expat Lifestyle with Bads. Hey, I'm off to Venice this morning, just on a day trip. I've got a little bit of shopping to do. And look, that's what you can do as an expat living in Italy. I can jump on the train, 2 hours, I'm in Venice. That's my plan. Hey, thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. I'll see you in Venice. Andiamo, let's go. Look, and here's a train coming in now. I'll tell you what, very reliable, the train service here in Italy. I'll show you the app I use. Okay, so here is the app I use for booking my trains. Okay, the Trainline app. Look, I won't go too much further into detail, but you can see there, station leaving from, Firenze. I went to Venice, Venezia, Santa Lucia. And then you just press find times and prices, and you go from there, you book your seats, everything. Look, I've used it extensively. I haven't had any problems personally. My daughters, when they were here in Europe too, they used it also. So there you go, Trainline app. So, 2-hour train trip up from Florence. Really comfy, Wi-Fi, everything like that. Hey, we're here at Venice. Venezia, Santa Lucia. I'll just flip that camera around right now. So just a little quick snapshot. Here we are, part of the Grand Canal. Now I'm going to get on a public water bus. I'm going to go out to Murano first. Okay, so welcome to Venice. Hey, the city of love, romance. So I'm on the public water bus, the Vaporetti. The waterways, always so busy, there's always something happening. Great to get a little bit of interaction with others too. Give them a wave, you wave back, costs you nothing. Now, the kids next to me said, Expat Lifestyle with Bads, stop screaming when we go into bridges, please. I am, I've just arrived on Murano, so it's an island that's well worth visiting. Very atmospheric. Now, apart from the odd cafe, there's shops full of glassware. It's quiet, isn't it? Hey, it's just after 10 a.m. Look at this building here. I'm going to explore a few of these glassware shops soon, don't worry. If you can think of it, they'll make it in glass, don't worry about that. So many shops. Just love the buildings. Look at this. What's around this corner? Lovely view. Waterways are busy, but it's a way of transport, isn't it? So what you'll find out of Murano, as you will in Venice, no cars. No cars at all. So I'm just walking around for you just to give you an idea of what Murano Island is like. I rate it, I really do rate it. What I'd always like to do would be to come out here and actually stay the night. Imagine it would be quite quiet of an evening when the day trippers like myself have gone and left. I think it'd be quite magical, finding a nice little restaurant somewhere and just walking around along the canals of an evening. Now, Murano Island and its connection with glassware goes back to the late 13th century. So much to see and appreciate, isn't there? Specifically here on Murano, but and wait till we get back to Venice. Okay, I might turn around now. Let's follow this boat back along, and we'll go back down. We'll walk back towards the glassware shops so I can show you some of the items on display for purchase. As I always say, Someone lives in those buildings. This is their home. So different to what most of us are used to. Hey, I'm enjoying being here, that's for sure. 2 hours on the train from Florence. About €30 one way, and I've got about a €28 ticket to get back. I'm leaving at about 5 p.m. this afternoon, so I've got a lot to show you. So I'm just walking along this section of Murano back to where the water bus would come in if you were to catch it from San Marco, because I caught the water bus from the train station. Now, I've got to start going into some shops. My wife has put in an order. I'm under pressure. Okay, so unfortunately the shops won't allow me to film inside. So now I must admit I did get the camera out. A little bit sneaky, wasn't I? Look, I justified it by the fact that I'm going to be buying something. I'm going to be buying an item from this shop. So I did film a few shelves, but I felt bad when I saw the camera, no camera sign, so I closed it off just there. You can understand, can't you? You know, there'd be a lot of people copying some of the original pieces here and creating their genuine fake sort of articles. So that's the way it is. So the sleek lines of the gondola, symbol of Venice. And this is what I bought at Murano. Hey, so it's solid Murano glass. It's pretty heavy. Look, I just thought it looked nice on a table like this. €80. I'm happy with it. It's going to be a great reminder. Hey, good to see the crew out doing a bit of training. Slow and steady often wins the race. Nice little outlook for the training group too. Hey, so that's a lovely view behind me, isn't it? Murano Island. If you can visit it, well worth it. Said if you're only here for a day, you might be struggling a little bit with the time. And that's the way I walked in earlier, about an hour or so ago. Hey, it's very pretty, isn't it? Very pretty. It's Murano. So surf's up. Surf's up. They're going a bit quick, mind you. Look at that. They're going a bit fast. You can water ski behind those. Okay, so we're on the Grand Canal. Just around this corner we'll see the Rialto Bridge. 15th century. And I'm on a Vaporieti, which is a public water bus. Quite economical. I mean, it's the only way to do it really, unless you pay for the private taxi. But that'll set you back about €100 for a short trip. I've had to do that before too, late for a train, but that's another story. That's wonderful, isn't it? What a great view. Speaking of views, this expat lifestyle with Pads. So I'm up on top of the Rialto Bridge. It's very busy up here, by the way. Let's go and explore. And by the way, welcome to Venice. Did you know, founded in the 5th century, and I guess the benefit of being built on very shallow sandbars provided great protection for later years when Venice became the world leading location of trade. So the shallow water meant attack from sea was very difficult, and being offshore, attack from land almost impossible. And Venice was located at the junction of trade between the east and the west. Trade in spice and silk and gold. It prospered for centuries and centuries. Did you know over 400 bridges in Venice? And I think about 150 islands. What about the alleyway here? Now, one of my key jobs today is to find a mask. But that's for later. and a later story. Just great, isn't it? Every corner you turn, it's just a fantastic view here in Venice. And I'm walking towards San Marco Square. So I sort of know my way around now, and they've also got signs. So this is the main walkway. Consequently, it's busier. Everyone follows, obviously, the marked way to get to San Marco Piazza. So if you are in Venice, the gondola ride is a must. It is a must. Now, apparently in September, on the Grand Canal, they have gondola races. And the gondolas, which are traditionally black, as we can see here, are multicoloured. Now, that would be something worth seeing in September if you could plan it. If you're going to do a gondola ride, book it early. We actually just, we were up, when we jumped on ours last time we were here, it was about 9 a.m. We didn't book. We were probably the first gondola ride. And the canals were empty. Whereas it's peak time now, isn't it? Look at this. Not quite as enjoyable, in my opinion. So there's 4 of us, and it cost us €80, and we jumped on at about 9 in the morning.
Oh, we should have sat on that side. Well, you guys are in the best spot for the photo. Yes, yeah. I do. Okay, let's swap. We'd love to swap.
Yeah.
All right, let's try swap.
We'll swap seats.
It's a beautiful gondola. Very well looked after. Look.
Sunday morning, very calm. 9 a.m. Why not do a gondola ride? As we are in Venice. And around.
Do we want to get Richie? Want me to go?
Coming up to the Grand Canal, so the larger waterway, and he's picking the pace up. Keep this going.
Now we're going to Grand Canal.
Grande.
Chaos.
Oldest bridge in the Grand Canal, the Rialto, 1591, Mr. Gondola just told us. So let's just wait till we get a bit further out. We'll get a lovely image of the Rialto bridge. Bridge now. And I'm coming up here to the big piazza of San Marco. The music playing, very atmospheric, isn't it? Beautiful piazza. And there we go there, the San Marco Basilica. Isn't it beautiful, San Marco Basilica? Now I'm doing a tour in there at 2 p.m. in a little while. Okay. I want to show you around the corner here, the Bridge of Sighs. It's a really interesting story, the Bridge of Sighs. Crowds, pretty typical really. I wouldn't say it's overly crowded. So let's have a look at this, everyone. And just enjoy the scenes, the vista. So typical, isn't it, of what you imagine Venice to be like. Hey, the city of love and romance, for sure, for sure. But I'm not here for romance today. Okay, so the Bridge of Sighs behind me there. Now, did you know a prisoner sentenced in a Doge Palace had to walk through the Bridge of Sighs behind me there into the prison cells that were windowless, damp, terrible. So you can imagine walking over that bridge, glimpsing through that little window the beautiful scenes of Venice. Any wonder they did sigh, a sigh of despair, I would imagine. No, I'm not here for romance or love. Not today. I've got my love back at home, by the way, in Florence. Now, I'm here to get a mask. Last time we were here with our daughters, we got held up on Murano and we were so late getting back. We had to run all the way from our hotel with suitcases across these cobbles to try and catch our train. So we ran past the mask shop that we were intending to get a mask from. So we never got it. So there are many advantages being an expat in Italy. One is I could jump on a train from Florence, like I did this morning, and get to Venice in about 2 hours. So I've got to get that mask. No pressure, huge amount of pressure. Basilica of San Marco. Just be aware there is a dress code, so please check. Built in the 9th century to guard the relics of Saint Mark. It's due to the golden mosaics that represent stories, obviously from the Bible. The mosaics date back to the 11th century and, amazingly, 8,000 square metres have been laid. So the San Marco Museum, and we're heading out to the terrace area. What about the horses? Strength and power. A gift. Right through the clock tower, isn't it? So I'm up on the terrace of the San Marco Basilica. I've just finished the tour. It's with Get Your Guide. Look, it was a very short 45-minute guide through the Basilica, and the terrace ticket was extra, €7, but it's well worth coming up because you get a great view of the San Marco Piazza. Now that's a nice little outlook, isn't it? I guess it's a bit like the prisoners walking across the Bridge of Sighs, the last little glimpse that they get of Venice before they are locked away in that windowless, damp cell for the rest of their life. Probably never see daylight again. Anyway, let's brighten the mood a bit. What about Venice? What do you think, everyone? It's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so I've got myself a mask to get. Which one? Okay, see you soon. I'll see you at the mask shop. So I hope you enjoyed that little snapshot of the San Marco Basilica. I'm about to leave the San Marco Piazza. Now Get Your Guide, they do a good tour, but it's certainly you must get a skip the line ticket. That's a must. And actually the masks themselves originate from Venice, but go back to the 13th century. And it really was an inclusive thing because all classes could wear a mask. So peasants and nobles alike wouldn't know who was which. But as what happens, it's a bit like anonymous social media. People started doing bad things behind the mask. They were outlawed for a while. But the mask creation, it was a big guild, the mask guild. It was massive here in Venice back in the day. Okay, so I've just picked up that mask inside there. Now unfortunately, just not allowed to film inside, and you can understand that, can't you? So I'll just show a couple of things from the window, okay? So firstly, that mask there with the long nose, it actually covers the mouth too. Did you know back in medieval times the doctors wore that to keep themselves away from their patient, but also they'd fill the nose with herbs and sweet, nice smelling things, fragrances, to keep the smell away. But it was a form of like a COVID mask really back in the day. Now the mask I got is a bit similar to this one here, but the Joker face, okay? And authentic, so all handmade. It's like a paper mache, and you can check for that. You can check for that when you feel on the inside of the masks. So it's a nice shop, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to film in there. Masks you'll see in Florence and other places made of plastic. Anyway, I had a really nice chat to the guy in there. So an authentic mask from Venice, handmade. You pay a little bit more, but it's not one of those genuine fakes that you might find elsewhere. Genuine fake, I mean plastic. So it's paper mache, hand painted. The Joker. Hey, I like it. €89. And look, this is going to be a real keepsake. What do you think? So if you step off this track, that's what you need to do if you're here in Venice, and explore in less crowds and some of the little piazzas you find. truly beautiful. You know what I mean? Just take a few turns and this is what you find, and just have an explore. It's great to do some walking too, isn't it? Incidental exercise, we call it. It's good. Less crowds, you're not dodging, and you just wonder, where's this going to lead? And look, isn't this pretty here? Where's it going to lead? Probably a dead end, but no. Look, here we go, see? Up over the bridge. Let's go. I love that. Oh, hang on a minute. That looks wonderful, doesn't it? Have a look at that. See what I mean? Now, I had no idea where I was walking, but you get off the beaten track and that's a beautiful view. Bridge after bridge after bridge. There's apparently 400 bridges in Venice. And that's a popular view, isn't it? Because you can tell that people are there taking their photos. We've got one of these taxi boats. Pretty pricey they are. That'll set you back about €100 for a very, very short trip. But again, it's an experience, isn't it? If you can manage it in your budget. So can you see how it's much quieter now? And look, I've only been walking for about 5 minutes or so from San Marco Piazza. And this is what I encourage you to do, whether you get a paper map or just wander. Get lost and just enjoy what you see. It's really great, it really is. Look at this. Such history, isn't it? And look, I hear people, I read things, you know, it's a tourist trap, money, and hang on a minute, you're one of the most iconic places in the world. Of course it's going to be a little bit expensive. You just got to plan for it, don't you, and be smart. Do some research. And look, the first time I was here with my wife in 2018, we had a 2-night stay. Last year we brought 2 of our children for 1-night stay because I already had a bit background info. Today I'm doing it in about 8 hours because I know what I need to see and what I'd like to show you. And we come out into a lovely, lovely piazza. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, so I'm gradually heading back in the right direction. So rustic, isn't it? Look at this. Not too many people passing through this area. And look, yeah, I'm starting to see a few nice little eateries too. You've just got to sort of do your homework, or you just wander and decide, I like the look of that, and that's where you go. Right, let's go through that opening. The light is drawing me in. Right, unfortunately, it's time to head home, so I'm heading back towards the train station now. So this is not a piazza, I have to say. Campo field is between the Rialto Bridge and the train station. It's great. This side of Venice, in this area I've been walking through, is just fantastic. So much to see in Venice, and in one day you cannot do it. I really do think a 2-night stay is the way to go. So the sign there behind me, yellow, Ferrovia, the railway station. So we just follow that. It's been a great walk along here. Very, very quiet. Now look, so I'm heading back to the railway station. It'll be tough with a suitcase because, can you hear that? It'll be rattling along, wouldn't it? Backpack would be the way to go. But even staying around this area of Venice, I'd rate it highly. And I say that because it's quiet. It's so quiet. You can see behind me, no one there. Not too many people in front either. Right, so that was a fantastic walk. And there's the railway station, the Ferrovia, over there. And these are the signs I've been following to get to this bridge that crosses the Grand Canal. So we say goodbye to Venice. Will I be back here again? Hey, it's a great place to visit, it truly is. We'll see. It's been a great day in Venice and I hope you've enjoyed it. Expat Lifestyle with Bads. Thumbs up, bell notifications on, and please subscribe. See you next episode. Ciao.